The baby was born 2 months ago. A girl. She's in foster care now. Sienna's parents are trying to get custody, but it's complicated. Sometimes I think about that little girl, my granddaughter, growing up without knowing us. Without knowing her father is in prison for trying to kill her grandmother. I don't know if that's mercy or tragedy. Derek and I separated. Not divorced, just separated. We needed space to figure out if we could survive this. He saved my life, that's true. But he also considered ending it. He used me as bait. He kept secrets that could have gotten me killed. Trust doesn't heal from that overnight. We're in couples therapy now. Twice a week. It's hard. There are days I look at him and see the man who pulled me under that dock and kept me safe. Other days I see the man who hesitated, who thought about the money, who admitted he almost said yes to murder. I don't know if we'll make it. But we're trying. Colette moved in with me for a while. Helped me adjust to living alone, to processing everything that happened. She's the one who convinced me to press charges, who told me that mercy without accountability isn't mercy at all. It's just enabling. I went back to work 3 months ago. Part-time at first, then full-time. My firm welcomed me back with open arms. Turns out being in a wheelchair doesn't make you a worse architect. If anything, it's made me better. I design with accessibility in mind now. I think about the people who'll use the buildings I create, the ones who need ramps and elevators and wide doorways. My disability gave me perspective I never had before. I've been to visit Brennan twice. The first time was 2 months after his sentencing. He looked terrible. Prison orange didn't suit him. He'd lost weight. His eyes had this hollow look that reminded me of soldiers in war documentaries. "Why did you come?" he asked me through the glass partition. "Because I'm still your mother," I said. "And I need to understand. I need to know if there's anything left of the boy I raised or if he's gone completely." We talked for an hour. He told me about the therapy he was doing, the AA meetings, the support groups for inmates with gambling addictions. He told me he thinks about me every day. About the accident, about the lake, about all the choices that led him to this place. "Do you hate me?" he asked. I thought about that question for a long time. "No," I finally said. "I don't hate you. But I don't know you anymore. The son I thought I had would never have done these things. So either you were always this person and I was blind, or you became this person and I couldn't stop it. Either way, that boy is gone. Can I ever get him back?" Brennan's voice was small, childlike. "I don't know," I said honestly. "But you can become someone new. Someone better. Someone who takes responsibility and makes amends and actually changes. That's all any of us can do." The second visit was last week. He looked different. Healthier. More present. He told me he's been reading a lot, taking college courses through a prison program. He wants to get a degree in counseling, help other people who struggle with addiction and debt and desperation. "I can't fix what I did to you," he said. "I can't give you back your legs or erase the trauma or make the last year disappear. But I can make sure that my mistakes mean something. I can use this experience to help other people avoid the same path." It wasn't forgiveness. Not exactly. But it was something. A tiny seed of possibility that maybe someday we could build a different kind of relationship. Not mother and son like before. Something new. Something honest. I've been back to the lake house once. Derek's brother sold it shortly after everything happened, couldn't stand the association. The new owners are a young couple with 2 kids. They put up a fence around the dock area, installed better lighting, made it safer. I sat in my car in the driveway for 20 minutes, just looking at it. Remembering the sunset, the push, the cold water, the terror. But also remembering Derek's hands pulling me to safety. Remembering my own strength, the way I survived, the way I fought. A woman came out of the house, saw me, and waved. "Can I help you?" she called. "I used to come here," I said. "Long time ago. Just wanted to see it again." She smiled. "It's a beautiful place. We love it here. You want to come in? See what we've done with it?" I almost said no. But then I thought about all the ways I'd let fear control me this past year. Fear of my son, fear of my husband, fear of my own body and its limitations. I'd survived being paralyzed, nearly drowned, and betrayed by the people I loved most. I could handle walking through a house. Sure, I said. I'd like that. She helped me up the ramp they'd installed, showed me the renovations, the kid-friendly updates, the love they'd poured into the place. And standing in that house that had almost been my grave, I realized something important. Places don't hold power over us. People do. And I'd taken my power back. I'm not going to lie and say everything's perfect now. It's not. I still have nightmares about drowning. I still flinch when Brennan's name comes up in conversation. I still have days where I look at my wheelchair and feel angry at the universe for putting me here. But I also have days where I feel grateful. Grateful that Derek hesitated long enough to choose me. Grateful that Colette answered my call. Grateful that I was strong enough to press charges even when it broke my heart. Grateful that I survived not just the lake, but everything that came after. There's a quote I found in one of my therapy sessions. Forgiveness isn't saying what happened was okay. It's saying I'm not going to let what happened destroy me. I'm not destroyed. Bent, maybe. Scarred, definitely. But not destroyed. Brennan gets out in 4.5 years if he makes parole. I don't know what our relationship will look like then. Maybe we'll rebuild something. Maybe the distance will be permanent. But I've learned that you can love someone and still hold them accountable. You can grieve who they were while accepting who they've become. You can be a mother and still choose yourself. Derek asked me last week if I thought we'd ever live together again. I don't know, I told him. But I'm not ready to give up on us yet. Neither am I, he said. That's enough for now. Not a happy ending, but an honest one. I've started speaking at support groups for people with spinal injuries. Telling my story, or at least parts of it. Not the attempted murder part, that's still too raw, too complicated. But the part about adapting. About discovering that your worth isn't tied to your body's abilities. About learning that disability isn't the end of your story, just a plot twist. Last month, a woman approached me after one of these talks. She was maybe 30, newly paralyzed from a motorcycle accident, and she had that same hollow look Brennan had in prison. That look of someone who'd lost themselves. How do you do it? She asked. How do you keep going when everything's different? When the life you planned is gone? I thought about that question. Thought about the architect I used to be and the architect I am now. Thought about the mother I was and the mother I've become. Thought about all the ways trauma reshapes us, sometimes into something we don't recognize. You mourn what you lost, I told her. Really mourn it. Cry and rage and grieve. But that calm, reasonable, talking to a child voice. Diane, you haven't been yourself lately. You're stretched thin. I'm trying to protect you. Protect me? From my own company. From stress that you clearly can't handle right now. He says it so gently, so kindly, like he's doing me a favor. You forgot about that board meeting 2 weeks ago. You double-booked 3 client calls last month. I'm picking up the slack because I care about you and this business. Wait, did I forget a board meeting? The client calls. I remember rescheduling those, but had I really double-booked them? My mother's face flashes in my mind. The way she'd looked at me last Sunday, confused about what year it was. The doctor's words, early onset dementia can be hereditary. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not letting him make me question reality. I want full access to all investor communications, I say. Every email. Every meeting. Everything. Marcus nods. Absolutely. I'll forward everything tonight. I should have been keeping you in the loop better. That's on me. He sounds so reasonable. So apologetic. I feel my anger deflating, replaced by confusion. Okay, I say. Tonight. That night, I get exactly 3 emails. Surface-level stuff. Nothing about Garrett Industries. Nothing about the other meetings I'm now certain he's been having. I call him. Marcus, you said you'd send everything. I did. That's everything from the past 2 weeks. What about the Garrett meeting? Silence. Then, Diane, we talked about this earlier. Are you feeling all right? You sound confused. I hang up. I'm not confused. I know what I heard in that coffee shop. But how do I prove it? The next morning, I try to access our shared investment folder. Password changed. I try the client database. Locked out. I try our business bank account online portal. Access denied. I storm into the office. Marcus is there with 2 of our senior staff members. They all look at me like I've interrupted something important. Why am I locked out of our accounts? My voice is too loud. I can hear it. Marcus exchanges a glance with Janet from accounting. Diane, we discussed this. You asked me to handle the financial access while you focused on the technical side. You said it was too much to manage both. I never said that. Janet looks uncomfortable. Miss Calloway, you did mention wanting to step back from the administrative work. That was about a month ago. No. This isn't happening. I need to talk to you alone, I tell Marcus. After Janet leaves, I shut the door. What are you doing? I'm protecting our company, he says. You're going through something. Your mother's diagnosis, the stress, it's affecting you. Clients are noticing. Staff is noticing. That's not true. Diane. He pulls out his phone and shows me an email. It's from one of our clients, asking if I'm okay, saying I seemed disoriented on our last call. I don't remember being disoriented. But the email is real. The concern in the client's words is real. Let me help you, Marcus says. Take some time off. See a doctor. I'll hold down the fort until you're feeling better. This is my company. It's our company. And I'm not going to let you destroy it because you're too proud to admit you need help. I leave his office. My hands won't stop shaking. That night, I'm working late. Everyone else has gone home. I'm digging through files, trying to find proof that I'm not losing my mind. That Marcus is lying. That this is all some sick game. That's when I hear it. Marcus's voice, coming from his office. I thought he'd left hours ago. I move closer. The door is cracked. He's on the phone. Don't worry, he's saying. She won't be a problem much longer. I freeze in the hallway. My heart is slamming against my ribs so hard it hurts. Trust me, Marcus continues. Another month, maybe 2, and she'll be completely out of the picture. Everyone already thinks she's losing it. Whoever's on the other end says something I can't hear. Marcus laughs. Actually laughs. No, she has no idea. The dementia angle was genius. Nobody questions it. They just feel sorry for her. My hand is on the door frame to keep myself steady. The investors are already on board with me taking over, he says. I've been setting this up for months. By the time we close the Garrett deal, her name won't even be on the contracts. I need to move. I need to get out of here before he sees me. But my legs won't work. Yeah, I'll have the documents ready, Marcus says. She'll sign them. She trusts me. I finally force myself to move. I walk backward, slowly, carefully, until I'm at my office. I grab my bag. My laptop. I don't even shut down my computer. I just run. In my car, I lock the doors and sit in the dark parking lot, trying to breathe. Trying to think. He's stealing my company. He's been planning this for months. The memory problems. The locked accounts. The meetings without me. None of it was real. He's been gaslighting me. Using my mother's diagnosis as a weapon. I drive home on autopilot. I don't remember the route. Don't remember parking. I just end up sitting in my living room at midnight, staring at nothing. What do I do? Who do I call? My lawyer would need proof. The police would think I'm paranoid. Everyone already believes I'm struggling. Marcus made sure of that. I spend the next week pretending everything is normal. I smile at the office. I defer to Marcus in meetings. I play the role of the confused partner who's grateful for his help. But every night, I'm digging. I'm searching. I'm looking for evidence. I find it buried in old emails. Transfers that don't make sense. Money moving into accounts I've never seen. Contracts with signatures that look like mine but aren't quite right. He's been embezzling. For months. Maybe years. And he's been so careful. Every transaction has a justification. Every signature has a witness. He's built a paper trail that makes him look like the responsible partner and me like the liability. I need help. Professional help. I call an old friend from college. She's a forensic accountant now. I ask her to look at my company's books. She agrees, but she warns me, if he's as smart as you say, this won't be easy to prove. 2 weeks go by. I'm playing the perfect victim. Confused. Apologetic. Grateful for Marcus's patience. He starts suggesting I sign over medical power of attorney. Just in case, he says. With your mother's condition and your stress, it's smart to have someone who can make decisions if you're not able to. I pretend to consider it. Then my accountant friend calls. Diane, sit down. I'm already sitting. What did you find? He's stolen over $300,000. And that's just what I can prove from the records you gave me. There's more. I know there's more. My vision blurs. 300,000. But here's the problem, she continues. Every single transaction has your authorization. Your signature. Your approval. He's made it look like you knew about everything. I didn't sign those. I believe you. But a court might not. He's been documenting your memory issues. I found emails where he's expressing concern to staff, to vendors, even to some clients. He's built a narrative that you're incompetent. So what do I do? She's quiet for a moment. You need a lawyer. A good one. And you need evidence that proves he forged those signatures. Can you get access to his computer? Late that night, I'm back in the office. It's almost 1 in the morning. The building is dead quiet except for the hum of the air conditioning. Marcus's office door is locked, but I know where he keeps the spare key. He showed me once, back when we trusted each other. I slip inside. His computer is password protected, but I know that too. He used it in front of me dozens of times. Never thought I was paying attention. The screen lights up. I'm in. I don't have much time. I start taking screenshots. Opening files. Downloading everything to a thumb drive. Emails to investors, calling me incompetent. Documents showing the embezzlement. Contracts he's drafted that transfer my shares to him. He's even created fake medical records claiming I have a diagnosis I've never received. It's all here. Every piece of his plan. And then I see the calendar event. Next Wednesday. 11 a.m. Investor pitch meeting final presentation. The Garrett Industries deal. He's closing it without me. Or rather, he's planning to humiliate me in front of them so badly that they'll only want to work with him. I copy everything. Every file. Every email. Every piece of evidence. The thumb drive is getting full, so I start emailing files to a private account he doesn't know about. A noise in the hallway freezes me. Footsteps. I close the browser. Shut down the windows. Grab my thumb drive. I'm halfway to the door when the footsteps stop. Just the cleaning crew. I hear a vacuum start up in the distance. I lock Marcus's office behind me and slip out. At home, I don't sleep. I organize everything. Build a timeline. Prepare my case. But then reality hits me. Even with evidence, this will be a long legal battle. Months. Maybe years. And in the meantime, Marcus will keep controlling my company. Keep poisoning people against me. I need something bigger. Something that stops him immediately. That's when I remember something Marcus said on that phone call. Something about having documents ready for me to sign. He's planning to forge my signature on a transfer of ownership. But he needs witnesses. He needs it to look legitimate. The investor meeting. He's going to do it at the investor meeting. I pick up my phone. I dial a number I haven't called in 5 years. Federal Trade Commission, Fraud Division. Chapter 5. The woman on the phone sounds tired. It's almost 2 in the morning, but apparently fraud never sleeps. I need to report embezzlement and identity theft, I say. She takes my information, asks me basic questions. Then she tells me what I already knew. This is really something for the FBI's white-collar crime unit. She transfers me. I spend the next hour talking to an agent named Sarah Chun. I tell her everything. The stolen money, the forged signatures, the gaslighting, the fake medical records. Can you prove any of this? She asks. I have everything. Files, emails, bank records. How did you get access to his private files? I hesitate. I have a key to his office. We're business partners. And he doesn't know you have this evidence? No. She's quiet for a moment. Miss Calloway, what you're describing is serious. But it's also going to take time to investigate. These cases take months. I don't have months. He's meeting with investors next Wednesday. He's going to finalize a deal that cuts me out of my own company. I understand your frustration, but he's committing fraud. Active, ongoing fraud. And he's planning to do it again in front of witnesses. Isn't that something you can stop? Another pause. Send me everything you have. Tonight. I'll review it and see what we can do. I send her the files. All of them. Then I wait. 3 days pass. I hear nothing. I go to work. I smile. I play confused when Marcus suggests I take the rest of the week off to rest. I want to be at the investor meeting, I say. I should be there. He looks uncomfortable for the first time since this started. Diane, I don't think that's a good idea. You've been so stressed, and these meetings can be intense. What if I embarrass you? I finish. What if I say something confused in front of them? That's not what I meant. Yes, it is. But I'm going. It's my company too. He can't argue without showing his hand. So he agrees. 2 days before the meeting, Agent Chun finally calls. We've reviewed your evidence, she says. It's compelling. We want to move forward, but we need to catch him in the act. Can you wear a wire? A wire. If he's planning to defraud investors at this meeting, we need audio evidence. You'd wear a small recording device. Just act natural. Let him do what he's planning to do. And then what? Then we arrest him. I should feel relief. Instead, I feel terrified. What if something goes wrong? We'll have agents nearby. You'll be safe. But Miss Calloway, you need to be sure. Once we move on this, there's no going back. Your partnership, your company, everything will be public. This will be messy. It's already messy. Fair enough. Can you meet me tomorrow to get the equipment? The next day, I'm sitting in a coffee shop across from Agent Chun. She's younger than I expected. Sharp eyes. No nonsense. She slides a small device across the table. It looks like a button. This clips inside your shirt. It picks up everything within 20 feet. I hold it like it might explode. You just need to let the meeting play out, she continues. Don't accuse him. Don't confront him. Let him hang himself. What if he doesn't do anything incriminating? Based on what you've told me and the evidence you've provided, he will. Men like this can't help themselves. They need to prove they're the smartest person in the room. I clip the device inside my blouse. It's cold against my skin. We'll be in a van outside, Agent Chun says. We'll hear everything. The second we have what we need, we move in. That night, I don't sleep. I rehearse conversations in my head. I imagine how it will feel to watch Marcus finally face consequences. But I also imagine it falling apart. Him somehow knowing. The investors believing him instead of the FBI. Me ending up looking exactly as crazy as he's been claiming. Morning comes too fast. I put on my best suit. Navy blue. Professional. I look in the mirror and barely recognize myself. There are dark circles under my eyes. I've lost weight. But my hands are steady now. At the office, Marcus is already in the conference room setting up. He looks confident, excited. He has no idea what's about to happen. "Diane," he says when he sees me. "You came." "Of course. Wouldn't miss it." He studies my face like he's trying to figure out if I'm being sarcastic. Then he smiles. "Good. I'm glad you're here. This is going to be big for us." The investors start arriving. 12 of them. Important people with money that could make or break a company. We all sit down. Marcus starts his presentation. He's good at this. Confident. Charming. He talks about growth projections and market share and revolutionary technology. I sit quietly. The recording device feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. Then Marcus clicks to a new slide. "Now, I need to address something important. Some of you may have questions about the leadership structure of this company." Here it comes. My partner, Diane, has been struggling with some serious health issues. It's been difficult to watch. She's the brilliant mind who started this company, but recently, her judgment has been compromised. One of the investors shifts uncomfortably. Marcus continues. "I've been working with our legal team to ensure continuity of leadership. Diane has agreed to step back from day-to-day operations and transfer primary decision-making authority to me." "I have not agreed to that," I say quietly. Every head turns to me. Marcus's smile doesn't move. "Diane, we talked about this. Remember? Last week." "No, we didn't." His expression shifts to concern. "Pity. It's a performance. This is what I'm talking about." She's confused. She doesn't remember conversations we've had. The lead investor leans forward. "Mr. Holloway, this is highly unusual. If there's a dispute between partners." "There's no dispute," Marcus interrupts smoothly. "Diane is sick. She has dementia. Her mother was just diagnosed, and unfortunately, she's showing symptoms too." That's when he stands up. This is the moment from my opening. The moment that started everything. "Gentlemen, ladies, I apologize," he says, his voice dripping with fake sympathy. "Diane has been struggling with some serious health issues. Confusion. Memory problems. She doesn't know what she's saying anymore." The words I knew were coming still feel like a physical blow. "I'm the real owner here," Marcus continues. "I've been running everything for months while Diane has been declining. It's heartbreaking, truly." The room is silent except for the sound of my heartbeat in my ears. The lead investor looks at me. "Miss Calloway, are you feeling all right?" I meet his eyes. I think about everything Marcus has taken from me. Everything he's tried to destroy. And I gather my things. I don't speak. I don't defend myself. Because Agent Chun told me to let him hang himself, and that's exactly what he's doing. "Diane, please," Marcus calls as I walk to the door. "Let me help you to your car." I step into the hallway, pull out my phone, and make the call that ends everything. It's time. Send them now. 3 hours earlier, I was sitting in my car in the parking garage. Not the morning of the meeting. The night before. Tuesday night. 11 p.m. The building was empty except for security. I knew what Marcus kept in his office. The files I'd already copied. But there was something else. Something I'd seen on his calendar but couldn't access remotely. A folder labeled Transfer Documents DC. DC. My initials. I needed to see what was in that folder. Not for the FBI. They already had enough to investigate. But for me. I needed to know exactly how he planned to finish stealing everything I'd built. The security guard knew me. Waved me through. "Working late again, Ms. Calloway?" "Always," I said with a smile that felt like glass cutting my face. Marcus's office was dark. I used my key. Sat down at his desk. His computer was off, but the folder was sitting right there in his drawer. Not even locked. That's how confident he was. How certain I'd never suspect. Never fight back. Never find out. I opened it. The first document was a transfer of ownership agreement. 50% of my shares going to him for $1. $1. And there at the bottom, my signature. Forged, but perfect. The second document was a letter from a doctor I'd never met, stating I had been diagnosed with early-onset dementia and was no longer capable of making business decisions. The third was a power of attorney form. Also with my forged signature. He'd even created fake emails from me, saying I wanted to retire. That I was grateful for his help. That I trusted him completely. Every piece of paper was dated over the past 3 months. He'd been building this slowly, carefully, making sure that if anyone ever questioned it, there'd be a paper trail showing my gradual decline and his reluctant takeover. I photographed everything. Then I put it all back exactly how I found it. Walking back to my car, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Control. The next morning, Agent Chun called. We're all set for tomorrow. You remember what to do. Let him talk. Don't confront. Let him incriminate himself. Exactly. And Ms. Calloway, you're doing the right thing. I wasn't sure about that. The right thing would have been catching him sooner. The right thing would have been trusting my instincts 6 months ago. But it was the only thing I could do now. That brings us to right now. Wednesday. The investor meeting. Me standing in the hallway after walking out, phone in my hand, those words hanging in the air. It's time. Send them now. Agent Chen's voice comes through. Roger that. We're moving in. Stay in the hallway. Don't go back inside. I can hear footsteps. Multiple sets. Heavy. Fast. The conference room door opens. Marcus steps out, that fake concern still on his face. Diane, wait. He stops. His eyes go past me to the 6 FBI agents coming down the hallway, badges out. The color drains from his face. Marcus Holloway? Agent Chen is in front, her voice official and cold. Nothing like the woman I had coffee with yesterday. Yes. His voice cracks. FBI. You're under arrest for wire fraud, embezzlement, and identity theft. Everything happens fast. An agent is reading him his rights. Another is putting handcuffs on him. Marcus is staring at me like he's seeing a stranger. You, he whispers. You did this. No, I say quietly. You did this. The investors are filing out of the conference room now, watching in shock. The lead investor, the man in the gray suit, catches my eye. He doesn't look confused anymore. He looks impressed. They take Marcus away. He's shouting now, saying it's a misunderstanding, that I'm crazy, that I set him up. His voice echoes down the hallway until the elevator doors close. Agent Chun turns to me. You okay? I nod, but I'm shaking. Not from fear. From relief. From rage. From 6 months of gaslighting finally breaking like a fever. We'll need you to come to the office, she says. Give a full statement. It might take a few hours. I have time. One of the investors approaches. A woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. Ms. Calloway, I'm Rebecca Winters. Can we talk for a moment? I follow her back into the conference room. The other 11 investors are still there, looking shell-shocked. We owe you an apology, Rebecca says. We should have asked more questions. He was convincing, I say. My voice sounds hollow. He was a liar, she corrects. And we almost fell for it. But now we know the truth. You built this company. You're the one we want to work with. The lead investor stands. Ms. Calloway, I think we need to reschedule this pitch meeting. But I want you to know, we're interested. Very interested. Just with you, not with a criminal. They leave. All 12 of them. And I'm alone in the conference room where, 20 minutes ago, I thought my life was ending. Instead, it's just beginning again. Are you still with me? Drop a like if you're invested in this story, and make sure you're subscribed because the next part is going to blow your mind. The FBI office smells like burnt coffee and old carpet. I spend 4 hours going through everything. Agent Chun sits across from me with a recorder, asking questions about dates, transactions, conversations. I tell her everything. When we're done, she leans back in her chair. You know, in 15 years doing this job, I've never seen someone document their own case this thoroughly. You did our work for us. I had motivation. She smiles. It's real this time, not the professional mask. He's going to prison. You know that, right? With the evidence you gave us, this is open and shut. How long? 5 to 10 years, minimum. Maybe more if we find additional victims. And we usually do. I think about Marcus in a cell. Part of me feels satisfied. Another part feels nothing at all. What about my company? I ask. He had control of accounts, contracts, everything. We've already frozen his assets. Your lawyer can start the process of reclaiming everything. It'll take time, but you'll get it back. Time. I'm so tired of time. I leave the FBI office as the sun is setting. My phone has been off all day. When I turn it on, it explodes with messages. Employees asking what happened. Clients wanting to know if the company is stable. My mother's care facility saying she's been asking for me. And one message from Rebecca Winters, the investor from this morning. Call me when you can. We need to talk privately. I'm too exhausted to be curious. I drive home, order takeout I don't eat, and fall asleep in my clothes. The next morning, I call Rebecca. Thank you for reaching out, she says. Can you meet me for lunch? There's something I need to tell you. We meet at an upscale restaurant downtown. Rebecca is already there, looking elegant in a cream-colored suit. How are you holding up? She asks as I sit down. I'm standing. That's about all I can say. She orders us both wine even though it's noon. You're going to need this. That makes my stomach drop. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. But I need to be honest with you about something. She pauses, choosing her words carefully. We knew. Knew what? About Marcus. Not everything, but enough to be suspicious. 3 months ago, we started noticing inconsistencies in his presentations. Numbers that didn't match. Stories that changed. We hired a private investigator. I put down my water glass before I drop it. You knew he was stealing from me? We suspected he was stealing from someone. We didn't know it was you specifically until recently, and we needed to be sure before we acted. So you let him keep doing it? My voice is rising. People at nearby tables glance over. Rebecca meets my eyes. We needed to see if you would catch on, if you were part of it or a victim of it. You were testing me. Yes. I should be angry. I am angry. But there's something else in her expression. Something like respect. Why are you telling me this now? I ask. Because you passed. You figured it out. You gathered evidence. You involved law enforcement. You did everything right. She leans forward. Diane, we see a lot of partnerships fall apart. Usually, both parties are dirty. Or both are incompetent. But you're different. You're exactly the kind of founder we want to work with. So the investment is still on? Better than that. We want to offer you $8 million in series of funding. Full control. No co-founders. Just you and your vision. $8 million. The number doesn't feel real. There's one condition, Rebecca adds. Of course there is. You need to rebuild your team. Everyone Marcus hired, everyone who stayed quiet while he isolated you, they need to go. Fresh start. New culture. Can you do that? I think about Janet from accounting who looked at me like I was confused. About the senior staff who closed ranks around Marcus. About everyone who let it happen. Yes, I say. I can do that. Rebecca extends her hand. Then we have a deal. We shake on it. Her grip is firm. Final. Over the next 3 weeks, everything moves fast. My lawyer files to dissolve the partnership and reclaim all assets. Marcus tries to fight it from jail, but his public defender has nothing to work with. The company is mine again. I let go of 8 employees. People who enabled Marcus. People who I thought were my friends but turned out to be his allies. It hurts, but it's necessary. I hire new people. A CFO who's a former FBI forensic accountant. A COO who's been through her own business betrayal and knows the signs. An HR director who specializes in workplace culture. We're smaller now, but stronger. Cleaner. The Garrett Industries deal closes. With me. Not Marcus. They'd been watching the situation unfold and decided they only wanted to work with someone who could spot and stop fraud, not commit it. Revenue starts climbing again. Clients who'd been nervous come back. New clients reach out, impressed by how I handled the crisis. 6 months pass. The preliminary hearing for Marcus's trial happens. I have to testify. Face him across a courtroom. He looks different. Smaller. The expensive suits are gone. His confidence is shattered. When I take the stand, his lawyer tries to make me look vindictive. Emotional. Unstable. Isn't it true, Miss Calloway, that you have a family history of dementia? He asks. My mother has dementia, I say calmly. I do not. But you were concerned about it, weren't you? Concerned enough to be vulnerable to suggestion. I was concerned. Your client weaponized that concern. He used my love for my mother as a tool to gaslight me. The lawyer doesn't like that answer. He moves on. After the hearing, I walk out of the courthouse and get into my car. I'm about to drive away when someone knocks on my window. A young woman. Mid-20s. Nervous eyes. I roll down the window. Can I help you? Are you Diane Calloway? Yes. I'm Sarah Chun. Not the FBI agent, different Sarah. She laughs, but it's shaky. I work at a startup downtown. My business partner, I think he's doing what Marcus did to you. Isolating me. Questioning my memory. Taking control. My chest tightens. I read about your case in the news, she continues. And I thought maybe, could I talk to you? I don't know who else to ask. I unlock the passenger door. Get in. Sarah sits in my car and tells me her story. It's familiar in ways that make me sick. The charming partner. The slow erosion of access. The gaslighting. She's only 6 months into the partnership, but already he's convinced her she's incompetent. I'm forgetting things, she says. Or at least, he says I'm forgetting things. But I don't think I am. I think he's lying. Trust that instinct, I tell her. That's the most important thing. Trust yourself. But what if I'm wrong? What if I really am messing up? I take out my phone and pull up a photo. It's a screenshot from Marcus's computer. One of the fake emails he created from me. This is what my partner did. He manufactured evidence of my decline. Fake emails. Fake documents. He made everyone believe I was losing my mind. And the scary part? I almost believed it too. Sarah's eyes go wide. How did you prove he was lying? Documentation. I documented everything. Every conversation. Every discrepancy. Every locked account. I treated it like I was building a legal case, because eventually, I was. How did you get evidence from his computer? I choose my words carefully. I had legal access to our shared workspace. But Sarah, if you're going to do this, do it right. Talk to a lawyer first. Talk to the FBI if it's criminal. Don't do what I did and wait until it's almost too late. She nods, absorbing this. Do you have anyone you trust? I ask. Family? Friends? A lawyer? My sister. She's been telling me something feels wrong. Listen to her. And start keeping records today. Not tomorrow. Today. We exchange numbers. I give her my lawyer's contact information. As she gets out of the car, she turns back. Thank you. I feel less crazy now. You're not crazy. You're being manipulated. There's a difference. I watch her walk away and feel something shift inside me. Purpose. This isn't just about my company anymore. Over the next month, 3 more women reach out. All in similar situations. partners or bosses using gaslighting to take control. I talk to each one, share my experience, connect them with resources. One of them asks if I'd be willing to speak at a women in business conference. Tell my story publicly. I say yes. The conference is in Chicago. 200 women in a hotel ballroom. I'm terrified walking up to that podium. But then I start talking, and the fear disappears. I tell them about Marcus. About the gaslighting. About almost losing everything. About fighting back. The thing about gaslighting, I say, is that it's invisible. There are no bruises. No broken bones. Just broken trust in yourself. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Because once you stop trusting yourself, you'll trust anyone. Even the person hurting you. The room is silent. But here's what I learned. Your instincts are not confusion. Your concerns are not paranoia. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust that. Document that. Act on that. After the speech, women line up to talk to me. Some are crying. Some are angry. All of them have stories. I realize this is bigger than my company. Bigger than Marcus. This is about a pattern. A system. A way that women in business are undermined and erased. I start a non-profit. It's small at first. Just a website and a hotline. But we offer resources for women dealing with business betrayal. Legal referrals. Forensic accountants. Support groups. We call it Reclaim. Because that's what we're doing. Reclaiming our companies. Our reputations. Our voices. The FBI calls one afternoon. Agent Chun. We arrested him, she says. Marcus pleaded guilty to avoid trial. He's been sentenced to 8 years in federal prison. 8 years. It should feel like more. Like justice. But mostly it just feels like relief. There's something else, Agent Chun continues. We found 4 other victims. Women he'd partnered with before you. He did the same thing to all of them. You're the only one who fought back. 4 other women. 4 other companies stolen. Are they okay? I ask. 2 of them want to talk to you. I gave them your contact information at Reclaim. Hope that's okay. It's perfect. That week, I meet with them. Laura and Patricia. Both brilliant. Both destroyed by men who made them doubt themselves. We share our stories over coffee that goes cold. We cry. We rage. We laugh at the absurdity of it all. I thought I was the only one, Laura says. I thought it was my fault. That's what they count on, I say. Isolation. Shame. Silence. But we're not silent anymore. 6 months after the sentencing, my company hits 10 million in revenue. We've expanded to 3 cities. Hired 40 employees. Landed contracts I only dreamed about when Marcus was around. Rebecca Winters sends me a text. Proud of you. You've tripled your valuation. Want to talk Series B? I'm in my office when the mail comes. One letter stands out. No return address. Just a prison stamp. I know who it's from before I open it. Marcus's handwriting. 3 pages. Single-spaced. I should throw it away. That's what my therapist would say. What my lawyer would say. What anyone with sense would say. Instead, I open it. The first page is excuses. He had debt. He panicked. He made bad choices. Standard apologies that don't actually apologize for anything. The second page is justifications. I was difficult to work with. Too controlling. Too emotional. I made him feel like he had no choice. The third page is the truth, even though he doesn't realize it. You always acted like the company was yours alone. Like I was just an employee you happened to give equity to. I built that growth. I brought in those clients. I deserved to be the leader, not you. You were just lucky. You had one good idea and rode it as far as you could. Without me, you would have stayed small. Irrelevant. Forgotten. I read that paragraph 3 times. Then I laugh. Actually laugh. Because he still doesn't get it. He thinks he built my success. That his theft was somehow justified because I didn't appreciate him enough. That gaslighting me was reasonable because I hurt his feelings. There's no remorse. No real understanding of what he did. I write a response. Not to send to him. Just for me. Marcus, you didn't build my company. You stole it. You didn't make me successful. You nearly destroyed me. And the fact that you still believe you were the victim tells me everything I need to know. You haven't learned. You haven't changed. You're just angry you got caught. I fold the letter and put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'll send it. Maybe I won't. It doesn't matter. He's already taken enough of my energy. That afternoon, I get a call from an unknown number. I almost don't answer. Ms. Calloway? This is Jennifer Ross. I'm a producer for 60 Minutes. My heart skips. Okay. We're doing a piece on corporate fraud and gaslighting in business partnerships. Your case keeps coming up. Would you be willing to do an interview? National television. Millions of viewers. My story told to the world. Yes, I say. Absolutely yes. The interview films 2 weeks later. They come to my office. Set up lights and cameras. The correspondent is someone I've watched for years. She's sharp. Direct. You almost lost everything, she says to me on camera. How did that feel? Like drowning, I answer honestly. Like drowning while someone tells you you're imagining the water. But you fought back. Why? Because the alternative was disappearing. And I've spent my whole life building something. I wasn't going to let someone erase me. The interview airs on a Sunday night. My phone explodes. Messages from people I haven't talked to in years. Strangers sharing their own stories. Job offers. Speaking requests. Book deals. It's overwhelming in the best way. Monday morning, I'm at the office early. There's a woman waiting outside. Older, maybe in her 60s. She looks nervous. Can I help you? I ask. I'm Patricia Holloway, she says quietly. Marcus's mother. I freeze. The key is in my hand halfway to the lock. I won't take much of your time, she continues. I needed to say I'm sorry. For what my son did to you. And to apologize for raising someone who could do such things. You don't need to apologize for him, I say carefully. I do though. Because I saw the signs. When he was younger. The lying. The manipulation. The way he'd twist stories to make himself the hero. I thought he'd grow out of it. I thought success would fix him. She's crying now. It didn't. It made him worse. And you paid the price. I don't know what to say. Part of me wants to comfort her. Part of me is still angry. He's my son, she says. And I love him. But what he did was evil. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She leaves before I can respond. I stand there in the parking lot, watching her drive away, feeling something I didn't expect. Forgiveness. Not for Marcus. For myself. Because I spent months blaming myself. Wondering what I missed. What I could have done differently. Thinking I should have been smarter, faster, more careful. But I did nothing wrong. He did everything wrong. And his mother sees it. The FBI sees it. The investors see it. The world sees it. I'm not the confused woman Marcus tried to make me. I'm the woman who fought back and won. That night, I visit my mother. She's having a good day. She recognizes me immediately. There's my brilliant daughter, she says with a smile. I tell her everything. About Marcus. About the company. About Reclaim. She listens, holding my hand. I'm proud of you, she says when I finish. Not because you succeeded. Because you survived. I learned from the best, I tell her. You survived too. She squeezes my hand. We're stronger than they think. Always have been. On the drive home, I get another call. Sarah. The young woman from outside the courthouse. I did it, she says, her voice shaking with excitement. I documented everything. I went to the FBI. They arrested him today. Wire fraud and embezzlement, just like your case. Sarah, that's incredible. I couldn't have done it without you. You showed me it was possible. After we hang up, I sit in my driveway for a long time. This is the real victory. Not the money. Not the company. Not even putting Marcus in prison. The victory is that other women are fighting back now. They're trusting themselves. They're refusing to be erased. And it started because I refused to stay silent. 3 years later, Reclaim has helped 93 women reclaim their businesses, their reputations, their lives. We have offices in 5 states. A legal team. A crisis hotline that's answered 24/7. My company has gone public. We're valued at over $50 million. I'm the CEO, the founder, the face of a business that almost disappeared. But the number I'm most proud of is 7. That's how many of Marcus's other victims we found. 7 women who he did this to before me. Some got their companies back. Others took settlements. All of them got justice. Marcus serves his time in federal prison. I don't think about him much anymore. Occasionally someone will ask me about him in interviews, and I give the same answer: he's irrelevant to my story now. Because he is. My mother passed away last year. Peacefully. In her sleep. Before she went, she had a moment of clarity. She looked at me and said, "You did it. You built something that lasts." She was right. I'm speaking at another conference today. This one is bigger. 500 women. The energy in the room is electric. I tell my story. The same one I've told dozens of times now. But it never gets old because every time, someone in the audience needs to hear it. I want to tell you something important, I say from the stage. The most dangerous thing they tell us is to trust them more than we trust ourselves. That our instincts are paranoia. That our concerns are confusion. That we're too emotional, too sensitive, too difficult. I pause, looking out at all those faces. But here's the truth. Your instincts are your protection. Your concerns are your intelligence. Your emotions are your power. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Not a partner. Not a boss. Not anyone. The applause is thunderous. After the speech, a young woman approaches me. She's maybe 25. Scared eyes. Shaking hands. "My boss is doing it," she whispers. "Everything you described. The gaslighting. The isolation. Making me feel crazy." I pull out a card. Reclaims information. "Call this number. We'll help you. You don't have to fight alone." She takes the card like it's a lifeline. "Thank you." "No," I say. "Thank you for having the courage to speak up." That evening, I'm back in my office. The same office where Marcus used to sit. Where he planned my erasure. Where he thought he'd won. There's a framed photo on my desk now. Me and my mother at my company's IPO. She was already sick, but she insisted on being there. She's smiling. I'm smiling. We both look proud. Next to it is another photo. All 93 women from Reclaim at our last retreat. Different faces. Different stories. Same strength. My phone buzzes. A text from Rebecca Winters. "Board meeting next week. Big news. Call me." Another text from Sarah. "Just hired my 10th employee. Company is thriving. Thank you for everything." Another from Patricia, Marcus's mother. "Thinking of you today. You're changing the world." I lean back in my chair and look around this office. My office. My company. My empire that I built, that someone tried to steal, and that I reclaimed. There are days I still think about that investor meeting. About walking out. About making that phone call. About the moment everything changed. But mostly I think about what came after. The rebuilding. The fighting. The refusing to stay silent. The women who saw me fight and decided to fight too. That's the real story. Not the betrayal. Not the theft. Not even the justice. The real story is this: they try to erase us. They try to silence us. They try to make us doubt ourselves so completely that we disappear without them ever having to push us. But we don't disappear. We adapt. We document. We fight back. And we win. I'm not the same woman I was when Marcus and I shook hands on that partnership. I'm stronger. Wiser. Less trusting, maybe, but more certain. Certain of myself. Certain of my worth. Certain that my voice matters. And I'll never let anyone take that from me again. So here's what I want you to take from my story. If you're going through something like this, if someone is making you doubt yourself, if you feel like you're losing your mind, you're not. You're being manipulated. And you can fight back. Trust yourself. Document everything. Speak up. Ask for help. Refuse to be erased. Because your story matters. Your company matters. Your voice matters. And no one, no matter how charming or convincing or powerful, has the right to take that from you. I've read every comment you've left on my story. Every message of support. Every person sharing their own experience. You've taught me that I'm not alone. That we're not alone. And that together, we're unstoppable. So thank you. For listening. For believing. For refusing to let people like Marcus win. Now go out there and reclaim whatever they tried to take from you. Your business. Your reputation. Your peace. Your voice. Reclaim it all. Because you deserve it. Because you earned it. Because it was always yours to begin with. And nobody can take that away unless you let them. I didn't let them. And neither should you.